Hello, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from DeltaCX.com, and a question I get a lot is, how do I know if UX is a good career for me? Well, first of all, only you can know that. I can look at your work and I can see if you're doing a good job or where your strengths and weaknesses are, but I can't necessarily say if UX is right for you. Really, the only time I think like, wow, UX is really not for that person is when I see some really difficult personalities who are unlikely to change over time. They could, but it's unlikely. So high ego, narcissist, bullies, racists, people who need to be right, people who take credit for each other's work, general jerks. Let's just call them jerks. People who bitch each other out on social media. Really, UX might not be for you. But in general, UX could be for a lot of people. Now, I know a lot of boot camps are trying to tell everybody, oh yeah, UX is for you. But remember, they didn't do anything to assess that about you. And I'm mostly assessing people by personality traits. And if they're just saying, oh, what'd you do before? Oh, yeah, that's got a little bit of design in it. That's a little artsy. And, oh, yeah, that shows a little problem solving. UX is for you. Remember, they've got something to sell you. I've got nothing to sell you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, in fact, don't buy anything from me. There, I dare you. So, I don't have a horse in the race. I don't need to butter you up and tell you, oh yeah, UX is really for you. You got to join our course. I recently took an online assessment test from a boot camp called Springboard, and it was supposed to match me up with a career path. Now, I answered the questions honestly, and I've been working in UX, I would say, fairly successfully for about 25 years. And at the end of the assessment quiz, it told me it could not find a career path for me. And I want to make sure you know that these online assessments, and sometimes assessments by people, can be garbage. Do not imagine that if some online quiz didn't say that you're great for UX, that you're not. There's other ways that we can find this out. Do not measure it by whether or not you found a job right after doing your boot camp. Boot camps in general are not making people ready for jobs. That doesn't mean UX is the wrong career for you. It just means you don't know enough yet. You haven't worked up your skill and proficiency up yet to get that first job. I'm not ready for a plumbing job. So, these things are logical, but that doesn't mean UX isn't for you. Finding a job is hard, especially in these, when I'm recording this, we're having a pretty bad economy. So remember, it might not be you. And again, especially if you haven't worked your way up to having the skills and abilities that an employer is looking for. And most boot camps and online courses, and even many university degrees, aren't getting people ready. That doesn't mean UX isn't a good career for you. It just means it's hard to find a job, so it could be a good time to find a mentor or a coach. See episode 59 about finding mentors and coaches who can work with you, recognize some of your strengths and weaknesses, and help you level up in areas where you're still a little bit weaker so that you might be more likely to get that job and of course, improve your skill and proficiency. So hopefully that helps. Won't you please usability test the subscribe button, make sure it's working, subscribe to the Delta CX channel, and have empathy for the like button by giving this a like and teaching the YouTube algorithm to show stuff like this to people like you. Hopefully that helps, and thanks, and see you in the next video.